welcome back to the fourth quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show and the final quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick here.
Good morning.
And I want to talk about Mr. Red Laurel.
Mm-hmm.
He was recently named, I think it was last week, the Civic Cup winner, a very prestigious award awarded annually, started by one of the Hymans, and an award that, very few, one a year, achieve. Mm-hmm. And of course, he started the Reds Health and Racket Club many, many years ago when he was a very young person. He has grown. It's one of the largest health clubs, workout clubs in the nation. And it all started probably in a one-room building. And today, he does so much for the community, tries hard to get other people to try to look like he looks at his age. Mm-hmm. He's got some years on him. He's my age, a year older, one more, one less than me, I think. We were all at SLI together. I'm not sure if he's from Lafayette or not. It could be that he came as a student there and became interested and loved it and stayed in the Lafayette area. But Mr. Red, just keep up the good work. You're a heck of a citizen, and I'm proud that I know you personally. Vietnam vets finally get silver and bronze stars for heroic actions. And pictures here, isn't it? They're finally getting around to honoring some of these veterans that were injured and should have achieved some of these awards for the different heroic actions that they took part of in the Vietnam War. And glad to see that some of these are being. And at Food Field Farm Aid, music isn't the only focus. Old Willie Nelson started, he was a co-founder in 1985. You know, that's held on a long time. And the annual concert is the chief money maker for the Farm Aid organization. Nelson co-founded in 1985 and leads as a president. The beneficiaries of the organization's year-round efforts are always featured prominently at the shows. We talk about saving the family farmer, but the fact is the family farmer who saved all of us. Mm-hmm. That's his statement. Pretty Very true, good. Correct statement. That's Keep up the good work. It's right here, we needing some food at the Food Net in Lafayette. There's a young lady that's pleading with the public. Their annual won't come up until November, and their shelves are almost bare. I'm sure you've seen it on some of your local television stations. I'm making a personal plea to you.
There you go.
Beef Cattle Field Day comes to Opelousas. Good. Acadiana Beef Cattle Program Field Day will be at 4:30, October the 3rd, which would be, what, next Thursday? Mm-hmm. And it's going to be at Dominic Stockyard, 2800 West Landry, Opelousas, Louisiana. The cost is free to farmers, and they're going to have a meal after. And it could last as much as 3 to 4 hours. A very informative annual event. See you there.
Speaking of annual event, it's the 14th annual St. Hubert's Squirrel Cook-Off benefit over at Willie's Campground in Washington on Saturday, October the 19th. They have music, a DJ, live and silent auctions, T-shirts, kids corner, BB gun shooting contest, and they're going to help out Karen Ardoin Prudhomme this year, who has cancer. She's 57 years old. She was a hairdresser for many years and was teaching at Remington College. If you want to register, it's $50 a team. More information, call 948-4362. I want to thank Dr. Carrie Thibodeau, of course, for helping put this big project together every year, and Meredith Burley over there as well.
I was driving away from 3 Mile Lake recently and following a pickup truck, and he was pulling a stump grinding machine and had his name and his address and all, Duhan Stump Grinding, and with a phone number of 337-224-1081. So I called that number, I wrote it down, I called him, and because there's not a lot of stump grinders, I wanted his permission to announce that you know, that he has and he does all of this himself. He does it himself. In fact, right across the road from here in the curve, they have a sign, Preferred Tree Healthcare. He works with James Votro, who is the owner, and he's the one that those huge pine trees that were there, they took those down, and it was Mr. Duhon, I think his first name is Ted. He lives in Judice, Louisiana, which is Lafayette area, and of course, Preferred Tree Healthcare, there's a big sign there. He must have done a good job for Al Richard to allow him to put a sign there.
Right.
But anyhow, he says that he likes to do it himself so that there's no, well, I'm sorry, my men didn't do it right. He says, when I get through with the job, they can come and look at it, and they're going to be satisfied. So anyhow, if you, he lives in the Lafayette area. If you have, there's not many people that do this kind of work, I'd be happy to pass this information on to you. And congratulations. Of course, James Votro, his father, had a music and you know, jukebox business for years, and later in the video machines. And I think this Junior has taken over that business also. So he's a little hustler. His office is the old skating rink across from King's truck stop, almost across the street.
Ray's Skating Rink. Many a young man went there from Port Barry.
That
all
was you?
those years
was
ago.
Was that there when you?
When I was a kid, yeah. That's
No
where we'd
kidding.
go.
Well,
Sure.
good.
Where else were we going to go? Country kids?
Passing on some good news about some of our friends. One other thing I want to mention real quick. There was a story on boxing that was being written by Steve Hallam with the Ville Platte Gazette, and of course he's part of the large group of Louisiana newspapers that are owned by the
Moody's?
Moody family. That's the Moody group. And I asked him if he could to try to get the other, pass this on so that all of them can make an announcement of this upcoming Boxing Hall of Fame and reunion, October the 20th. I'll keep mentioning it, please. If you're interested, you don't have to be a boxer. You don't have to be a manager or anything. Just you liked boxing. You know somebody that's was a boxer like me, and you want to just be there. You're welcome to attend, please.
The Huey Book Memorial Scholarship is going on again. It's given by the Woodmen of the World Lodge 47. You have to be a college student with from 30 to 90 hours of college credit. You get awarded $500 as part of the scholarship. If you're looking for a farm, go by Ken's Thrifty Way on East Prudhoe or Cradair Sports right here on Cresswell Lane. Call Ken Thibodeau 942-2736 or Melissa Mars 948-9440. That's pretty easy, ain't it?
Jake Delhomme has recently been named to a bank board, Mid-South Bank Corp, Inc., that he is appointed to the board of directors. And of course, just recently, he was elected to the Louisiana Thoroughbred Breeders Association.
I saw that too. He's very active now that he's back.
Very active, and that is
and he said
nice.
that when he was playing football, he says, when I'm going to retire, I'm going to come back, I'm going to get into the horse industry here in the local area. That's what all he ever wanted to do.
That's all his dad
That's all his family's done,
and his brother has been a trainer all his life.
I think he's too tall probably to ride a horse nowadays, huh?
Well,
about 6'3", I guess he is. He's a pretty big fella.
Well, tell me about Coach Paul Dietzel.
Yeah, how about that?
Came to enter his line, 1924 to 2013.
And you know, the man, you know, he literally outlived the whole coaching staff. I don't think any of the coaches, or you know, Charlie McClendon was one of his assistants. All those men passed away. Probably 30–40% of his football team from those years when they won the national championship passed away. He was a very young man. I think he was maybe 30 years old when he got the LSU job. Was a very good up-and-comer.
And when he won the first, and for many, many years, the only national championship in 1958, he made a point to announce that he was looking for homegrown talent.
Right, because some of the great players in LSU history, Y.A. Tittle and all those guys, that all came from the Northeast or the East Coast.
Or Louisiana, or Texas, or Mississippi.
So to bring kids local, coming out of local high schools was kind of a big thing.
So his three of his stars on that championship team was Robinson and Billy Cannon, of course, who won a Heisman Trophy that year. And then, of course,
the quarterback, Warren Rabb.
Warren Rabb, who I became friends with when we both served on the Insurance Rating Commission in 72 to 76. And Warren, of course, is still in the Baton Rouge area and has sold the graduation rings for the major company out there for years and years.
Jostens, I believe.
Jostens, and then now his daughter is also in the business. And anyhow, we could go on, but Paul Dietzel was a man's man.
And retired back to Baton Rouge, is where he had the most friends. And, you know, he'd gone on, people had kind of held it against him when he left to go to coach for Army, but in those days, Army was a huge, prestigious thing. And he was with the South Carolina people for quite a few years, but Baton Rouge was home.
And I see where the Cotton Festival is going to be held right around the corner, October the 8th to the 13th, and it's a fun-filled week for the entire family. And
the 60th year.
I tell you what, Bobby Dardeau with Bon Nouvelle does a job. I mean,
Are you going to compete in the Tournoi this year? Do you got your horse ready?
No.
I know you own a bunch of horses.
I own, but in fact, you heard me talking to my trainer before we went on air today. I was checking on the status of the horse, and it's still got a hurt leg.
So you can't compete.
I won't compete. The 60th Louisiana Cotton Festival royalty, the king will be Tom Shedler, who is the Secretary of State for the state of Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
Colonel Cotton, it'll be Susie Lamont, beautiful lady, beautiful lady. And then Monsignor and Madame Cotton, it'll be Bob and Barbara Burker. And the 59th Queen, which was last year's Queen, and the reigning queen until the new one is chosen coming up around the 8th, is Kaylee Beaubuff of Effie, Louisiana. That's right into Avoyelles or right on the border with Rapides. But I think Effie might be in Avoyelles. And Beaubuff, Robert Beaubuff, Beau here.
Yeah.
Well, most of the Beaubuffs are related.
Must be related to him.
And they come from Avoyelles Parish. A lot of them. In fact, I think Beau is either from the Bunkie or which Bunkie is Avoyelles.
And don't forget about the parade marshal.
And the parade marshal is none other than Judge John Saunders. How about that? And the Tournoi, 116 years ago, beautiful article that was written verbatim. It's taken right out from the newspaper that was printed July the 10th, 1897. Author is unknown, but the article, I want you to read that after a while.
Oh, I sure will.
You're going to like the verbiage. I mean, it's really done well.
And find your prayer book, because you down to the wire.
We're down to the wire? No, we got time. We're in good shape. This weekend, like every weekend, Andrew and I would ask you to consider attending the church of your choice. And we try to close the program with a prayer, maybe a thought. Infinite God, loving Father, you are mine and I want to be yours. Let me joyfully sacrifice anything that hinders me from enjoying the magnificence of your glory, of your kingdom. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.